High tight. Next step. I got a little bit left. Okay, I thought I would have more information on Mr. Long's situation. I don't. So that's what I'm reporting, is I don't know. And I'll let you know when I do. Unofficial, official stats. Rushing the ball, Brendan Douglas had 7 carries for 50 yards, 7.1 average. Keith Marshall had 6 for 39 yards, 6.5 a carry. J.J. Green had 9 carries for 34, 3.8 yards per carry. Gurley had 5 carries for 33, 6.6 with 2 touchdowns. QB's had a couple rushes here and there. There's a bunch of guys with one rush. Murray was 14 of 18. 1 pick, 1 touchdown, 173 yards. Hudson was 9 of 19. 1 pick, 1 touchdown, 107 yards. Ramsey was 3 of 11. 2 picks, 65 yards. Christian LeMay was 1 of 5 for 5 yards. Receiving the ball, Malcolm Mitchell had 4 for 58. 14.5 if you care. All right, Lynch had 4 catches for 35 yards. Erdman had 3 catches for 21. Gurley had 3 catches for 72. Tibbs had 2 for 21 and a touchdown. Brendan Douglas had 2 for 31 yards. We had a bunch of guys with 1 catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 other guys had 1 catch. On defense, Josh Harvey Clemens, 7 tackles, 3 pass breakups. Had a big day. Amarlo Herrera, 5 tackles, 2 pass breakups. Stripling had 4 tackles. Connor Norman had 4 tackles. Garrison Smith had 4. And the tackle for loss. Leonard Floyd had 4 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Reggie Carter had 3. Lucas Red had 3. He had a pick as well. Lucas Red had a pick along with 3 tackles. Mike Thornton had 3 tackles. Of course, these are very unofficial. A bunch of guys with 2 and 1. Swan had a pass breakup. Toby Johnson had a tackle for loss and a sack. Quincy Mauger had a pass breakup. John Atkins had a tackle for loss. KJ, Kennard Johnson, had a interception with a 24-yard return. Shaq Wiggins had a pick with no yards. And then Brendan Langley had a pick for 48 yards, and I believe that was a touchdown. Bowman had a pass breakup. And going back to Langley, he also had a pass breakup. Right on the goal line, saved the touchdown. Nice play. I'm glad we went, and I'll wait a second. If y'all are rattling away, I probably went too fast. But sorry about that. I tried to go somewhat slow. But I'm glad we went at night. It was good to play under the lights. We'll go under the lights again for our practice game next Wednesday, dress rehearsal. Since our first game will be at night, I thought it'd be a good idea. I'm glad I did it. It was, I thought we had a lot more energy this scrimmage than last time. We should have. We had Sunday off. We had Tuesday off. We only had a short kicking practice on Monday. So it gave everybody a chance to really be fresh, and they showed it. So I would just say both sides of the ball. The number one units, as a lot of scrimmages, I thought, both number one units won the day. Although there was a drive that the number twos took down the field, got it inside the 5, but the number one defense forced them to kick a field goal at that point, which was big. First drive of the offense went down all the way down the field inside the 5, and ended up having to kick a field goal. And then we did a lot of situations. We did 1 minute. We did a drive where the offense was trying to run the clock out to where the offense could win the game. I was not able to do it with either units. Both defensive units stopped those drives, or forced a punt to get the ball back for their offense. That was the situation we were working. We practiced a third overtime where both teams scored a touchdown, had to go for 2. Number one defense stopped the 2-point conversion, and then the number 1-0 made the 2-point conversion to win the day, to win that game, win that drill. Defense won the goal line, and then third and longs, we did third and longs today, and the number one defense won their drill, number one offense won their drill in that situation. And we let our 3 units play a little bit, which was good. Got to see them play some, so it was a good day. We had no one was banged up today. Initially, sometimes the next day you hear of something, but today Ron came to me and said everything looked good, so that was a blessing as well. So I'll open it up for some comment or questions, and we'll go.
Among the quarterbacks, Murray and Mason, kind of the way it's been. And after that battle to that number 3 spot, guys statistically didn't.
Yeah, it was a tough day for those guys, and it's tough to go against the number one defense with the number 2-0. It's historically been that way. I think one of the guys that's navigated that number 2 spot as good or better than anybody has been Hudson Mason over his career. He's found a way to make some plays with the number 2 unit versus the number 1s over his career. But now he gets the benefit of being with the 1s most of his snaps now. It's tough. It's tough going against the number 1 D. So we have to. You learn a lot about a quarterback when he's under duress too, and so that's not always bad if he doesn't have a little. If everything's not perfect for him, you learn a little bit about him.
Mark, did Trey Matthews and Corey Moore go?
No.
How concerning is that they've now missed 2 scrimmages, and obviously those are
right? Yeah, it's big. I mean, it's big. We need to get him back. Hopefully soon.
Brendan Langley and Shaq Wiggins getting picks in this
right.
environment. Obviously, that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Langley particularly has made some nice plays.
Yeah, I'd say both Langley and Shaq have played well. Of course, Shaq's been banged up a little bit and missed a little bit, and Langley's been benefiting from getting all those reps in practice, and he did have a very fine breakup. The one pass breakup was a fade in the back of the end zone that would have been a touchdown if he didn't jump up and bat it away, and had the pick 6 that he had. Did a good job of breaking on the ball. Those guys have very good ball skills. You get a bunch of corners that can be in position to make a play and just can't catch it, but they snatch the ball like a receiver, which is great. They're pretty confident kids for just coming out of high school.
So did Brendan Douglas' performance tonight, a couple of his pass pro, is kind of lifting him up a little bit?
He was very. I'll say he was very impressive today. He ran the ball very well. He ran with power. He ran with some vision. He continued to pass pro pretty good. He's not perfect in that area. One time he really should have got out on a route. That's another thing in the pass protection assignments is there's times you got to know when to get out. You got to know that your guy didn't come, so you need to release. And one time he stayed in when he should have gone out, and his linebacker read that he was staying in, and he continued on through to rush. A lot of times a backer's got a man-to-man, but if your guy blocks, then you come and you rush. So it caused a protection issue because of not knowing when to get out of the backfield. But again, that's just a learning process for those guys. But I'll say he was very impressive today.
Most of the assistant coaches were saying the other day when I talked to him that they'll kind of start hashing out who's going to do what after the night.
Yeah.
They'll kind of figure out the answers.
Well, we got to grade it, obviously, and matter of fact, all the coaches are going to go home and kind of grade it on their own. We have the technology now to have the practice film shipped to our homes, and some coaches will probably do it tonight, some will do it tomorrow. But so it'll be maybe a day or two before we start trying to figure out exact, and it won't be exact until probably next Wednesday. I would think by next Wednesday, when we have that practice game, we'll have a really good idea how we're going to line up.
Do you consider Shaq and Langley to be the backups to Dawson?
I'd say they're all still competing. Other than Swanee's going to be in there, but who the other starter will be. Well, it's just a matter of watching what happened in this scrimmage and what happens between now and that next Wednesday probably.
Leonard Floyd moving around with his hand.
Leonard moved very well. Leonard's very he created some issues. He would have had a sack for sure if our left tackle didn't tackle him. He caused a holding call on the third long situation, but he's very, very athletic, and when you rush, you have to make sure you're containing the quarterback and all that kind of thing. Sometimes you're allowed to, start an outside rush and come underneath, and sometimes you're not supposed to do that. If your quarterback breaks contain, then all of a sudden you got problems. But he's very talented, and I think he's going to be an outstanding pass rusher, and playing with the club certainly didn't help him tackle, but he did a nice job.
She's at wheel now, just a wheel linebacker, or she is doing some same?
Well, I think that he can. He could play. He could play either outside linebacker position, I would say. You know what? I should know that. I think he did, but I'm just trying to remember him being out there right now. Let's see if he was one of the guys with one tackle. I don't see Deloach's name on here. I don't remember him being out there, but I apologize, Deloach, if you were out there. Make more plays, and then I'll see.
Will next Wednesday be a night scrimmage as well?
Yeah, we're going to go at night.
Is that in preparation for the 8 o'clock
Yes, sir.
time?
Yes, sir. We usually don't do it until then, but I thought it'd be a good idea to do it this week because I just wanted it to be a nice, cool night. I wanted everybody to be well rested, and I just wanted to see a lot of energy out there. It was like night and day from the first scrimmage as far as just the energy level out there.
Mark, through two of these, I think most people would have expected the offense to probably be ahead, just given the experience and the injuries have been on defense.
Right.
Have you seen that? Do you feel like the offense has been far ahead?
I wouldn't say far ahead. When you scrimmage like this and you go ones versus twos, you hope that your number one offense is going to have a pretty good go against your number two defense and vice versa. And that's about how it's going. If your second offense was just thrashing your number one defense, then you really, really got a serious problem. But that's not the case. I thought both number one units played pretty good, really.
How much does Keith go with the ones?
Keith Marshall, mostly. I don't think he had any reps with the twos. Him and Gurley were the guys that did the most. Douglas got a couple.
But he's mainly with the twos.
He's mainly with the twos, so he had a good day. But some of them he did end up doing a little bit with the number one units when we got into some situational things, goal line, short yardage running, and that kind of thing. So we.
Leonard, I'm sorry, Leonard obviously looks like a pass rusher. How is he in
Yeah.
space? Just in general.
He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot to learn.
He missed a tournament play to the Towns.
Right, he did not. Harden and Kremplis had a couple carries, but they were negative yardage.
Chris Mays able to do it today?
Chris did not. But he's getting better. He's doing better. He's getting close.
Bennett, I know he didn't have catches.
Bennett had a catch. I mean, if you care who had one catch, Chris Conley, Justin Scott Wesley, Bennett, Hugh Williams, Kremplis, Jordan Davis, Jonathan Rump, Merritt Hall, Kenneth Towns all had one catch.
For Colton,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'll just say that Kenneth Towns did have a nice fade throw. I think Bryce threw a beautiful 38-yard takeoff, so to speak, just a really nicely thrown ball and a nice route, nice catch. That was kind of the biggest yardage catch of the day, so Kenneth ought to get some props for that. I'm sorry, who was asking?
about Colton, I think obviously everyone around here is very happy he's playing, but now he is playing.
Mm-hmm.
How is he?
He's doing well. I mean, especially considering he hadn't played in a game in such a long time. But we've been rolling him and Theus. Him and Theus rolled with the ones and twos. They both got a little. I think they both got a little bit of both, but I know they both got some ones. I'm not sure if both of them got two reps because we had Xavier Ward to get some reps with the twos. So I'm not sure how much the other guys got with the twos.
Time for one more. How do you feel about the line? First.
I thought, we didn't have, what do we have? One sack, and, we'd have had another sack if there wasn't a holding call, I know that. Or at least he'd had a good shot at getting them. I thought our QBs moved well in the pocket, and I asked the officials to, if it's close, let them play. So there might have been another one or two sacks in there, but overall, the pass pro was really pretty good today. And, even the number 2 unit pass protected pretty good. All right.